And I can put you in. I can put you in. And I can put you in. I can put you in.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the BHLC podcast. Yours truly, Big Head Light Skin comedian right here, as usual, second Saturday of the month, right here in 21st in Germantown. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate your time and effort to watch this big head tonight. Got a great show for y'all tonight. But before I get on to it, let me go over a couple things. First and foremost, got to go over my disclaimer. There is no right or wrong. We're just expressing our views and opinions about things. So there's my disclaimer, so y'all can't sue me. So also, too, like I said, I want to go over some of my sponsors here, too, first and foremost. My first sponsor is the Smile Center right here in Louisville, Kentucky, 74th Avenue Grange Road. He takes care of my teeth. I'm still missing one, but we're working on that. And second of all, my second sponsor is right here in 21st Germantown. That's right, 21st Germantown here in Louisville, Kentucky, 1481 South Shelby Street. This is why I do my podcast every second Saturday of the month. Tonight, they got free entry to watch some bands tonight. And these bands I heard are outstanding. It's free to get in and watch them. And it's sponsored by Kentucky Coffee. So you know something's brewing with these bands. Now, with that said also, too, make sure you subscribe to my podcast, BHLC podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to it. Also, too, if you don't subscribe to my podcast, at least watch me on Big Head Light Skin Comedian LB as my friend on Facebook. And it's going on right now live. So just watch me and just have some fun and learn some things. My main thing is LSI. I'm all about LSI. Learn, share, and inspire. Also, too, just one or two more things. Sometimes I'm a guest, like a special guest, whatever, on a morning podcast called Mook in the Morning. And it's on Instagram. Y'all make sure y'all follow Mook in the Morning at 9 o'clock on Instagram on Mondays, Wednesday, and Fridays. Y'all tune into that. Because we have some great topics and a lot of fun. So y'all tune into that. Sometimes I'm a guest on that. So tune into that. Also, too, next month, I'm going to be performing at the Louisville Comedy Club at least once or twice. I don't know the exact dates, but I have to get back to you on that. Like I said, this show is really, really going great because of you people tuning in and watching. I got Louder Than Laughter, September 23rd, right here at 21st Germantown, here in Louisville, Kentucky. And y'all need to tune in. I'm going to be hosting it. Yours truly. It's a BHLC production. And I got some great comedians lined up. Be looking for that on my page. And I might get into it a little bit more a little bit later. But I think that's about it. I just want to make sure I covered everything this evening before I get into my guests, because I got an outstanding guest for you all. Okay. Now, let me get to my guest. Let me just say this to you. I don't know about y'all, but I know, especially before I hit the stage, I'm all about fashion and clothes. I like to look real good when I'm on stage as far as my clothing, because I think clothes speak about who you are a little bit if you're into clothes, you know. So clothes can really make you feel good. After you dress up and everything, you feel good, because clothes really make you feel good about yourself, you know. It really does. It's just clothes is an essential part clothes is an essential part of your personal lives, and you feel good when you put on fresh clothes. Now, I'm not saying you're dirty, but fresh clothes, I mean new fashion. Now, with that said, my guest, I'm so elated to have them, and she's family. That's right, I said family, so y'all better show her BHLC podcast love. I want some love for her. And make sure you comment. Hold up here, I got something going on here. I done hit something. I got a little light skin in there. Make sure you comment. If you got any questions, please ask, and I'll ask her about it. But I want you to give a big BHLC podcast welcome to my niece, and she's got her own corporation. I'm gonna let her explain that, elaborate on it a little bit more. Her name is Nicole Scott. Y'all get her from Nicole Scott Incorporation. And I brought in, hey,
Hey,
there we go. Okay, now you're unmuted. Okay, it's unmuted. Hey, good to see you.
good to see
Yeah,
you
I'm so
too.
glad to have you. Glad to have you on this Saturday evening here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I just know that a lot of people are really feel great about clothes and stuff. But here's where I always start my podcast, which I don't know if you already seen through some of my links I sent you. I know I've been communicating with you a lot. I'm just a little bit light skinned crazy, Denise. You know that. So with that said, um, just give them a little bit about yourself, a little resume, a little bit about yourself before we get into this.
Absolutely. Hey everybody. I'm Nicole Scott. I am 22 years old and I have my own fashion brand called Nicole Scott Inc. And we specialize in handmade, ethically conscious clothing and accessories. I started my business in 2021 through the help of a local nonprofit called AMPed, the Russell Tech Business Incubator. It was such a wonderful program. They helped me with mentorship, funding, business startup, and I took many entrepreneurship classes through the program. And they definitely helped me get to where I am today. So very happy to be here and excited to be, showing love to my Uncle Lovis. So
That's right. That's right. I'm so glad to have you because I know today you might talk to me a little about that. You did a pop up thing with your Unity collection today, didn't you? Here in Louisville, Kentucky, and how did that go? I seen her put a picture of you and my sister up on my page. So how did that go for you?
yes, the pop up was great today. We did a pop up at Black Coffee Cafe, which
Okay.
is downtown on West Jefferson Street. Definitely go check them out. We did it today and yesterday.
Okay.
It was a wonderful turnout. Yesterday was really, really busy. And
Good.
today it was like kind of steady off and on, but all of the family showed up today. So I got to
That's great.
see everybody, which was
That's
fun.
great. That's great.
Mhm.
That's great. That's great. Um, I know we didn't make it down there, but I was kind of a little light skinned busy today. But I got a love for you.
I
Um,
know.
you know I do. So I just want to. We're gonna get into this a little bit. Like I said, I really even talking to you as your family. It's just it feels so relaxing and let me just say this: some other family members gonna be jealous because you're the first family member I've ever had on her. Y'all have
Yeah.
to get you doing something, and I have y'all on her, but y'all not doing nothing, family. So I got her on her. But now, but yeah. So
Mhm.
you're the first family member I've ever had on my podcast, which I'm truly, truly blessed about. Um, okay, I'm gonna put this up here on the screen here because I think I was asking you this the other day. Why did you decide to get into fashion?
Yeah, so well, ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved clothes. And
Okay,
I've always loved like art and being creative. I was a huge like art kid growing up. I was always in the
right.
art room, doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
drawing. And even at home, I really loved, arts and crafts. I would do like sketches and I would do scrapbooking. I just really loved everything creative. And I remember reading like Vogue magazines, Teen Vogue, and all of the like cute little fashion magazines when I was little. And I just knew I was like, I want to be a designer when I grow up.
Right.
So all throughout, I would say probably in middle school was when I really discovered like I genuinely have a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I got to high school, I was very, very dedicated. I went to Ballard High School for their art program because they have a really good art department. And I wanted to focus on my fashion, but it was kind of hard because I don't think that they don't teach sewing at
Mm-hmm.
Ballard.
Mm-hmm.
But I started taking sewing lessons from another lady. Her name is Miss Colleen, and her sewing class is called So Much Fun. And I started the sewing lessons and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is what I want to do. Like I love fashion, I love sewing, I love making clothes.
Right.
And that was back in 2016 when I started taking those classes. And I just kept working on that while I was at Ballard. And then once I graduated Ballard, I knew that I wanted to major in fashion. So I started going to UC for fashion. And yeah, it's now I have my own business. So
That is so outstanding. That's great. And it's good that you knew once you hit that certain point in your life, you knew which direction you wanted to go, and being in fashion, dealing with fashion. because it's so much to do in fashion. It's so much, and like I was saying before I started here, fashion expresses our lives. Something with the clothes we wear and everything. It really expresses who we are and everything. So uh,
Absolutely.
it really does. What was I think this is one I wanted to put up here. I don't know if it's kind of what do you want your style to, yeah, what do you want your style to say on your behalf? So when people buy your clothes, what does it speak out to people when they got Nicole Scott Incorporation clothes on?
That's such a good question. I love that question.
I know I'm
Um,
gonna put you on the spot, I know, but
yes. So what I would say, the number one thing I want my style to kind of say would be positivity for sure.
right,
I really want my brand to promote positivity, inclusiveness, equality, and just overall good vibes.
right,
Like I
yeah,
just want
yeah,
people to look at my brand and they think, oh wow, like this is cool. Like this is really nice and it's positive. It's not just all about the money or all about the exclusivity or like high end element, but it's more, about everyone and how we can all kind of come together and be one. So a lot of my clothes are titled after like positive words. So peace, love, harmony, balance.
that's
Like
great.
I try to do that to promote like unity and just like positivity throughout the brand. So
Right. That's great, because I think in today's times too, especially with everything that's going on, people want a little bit of peace and harmony and that type of brand, for them clothes to speak it because, you just do, especially with all the violence going on. I would love wearing clothes that say peace and harmony because it's so much, violence going on in America today.
right.
But to wear that type of clothing and to feel good about it is definitely a great thing, more than anything. So that's why I wanted to, well, I mean, I kind of got some questions, but I just want to just talk about just certain things because I know I want to ask what does how does, and matter of fact we own it, we right here own it right here. I'm about ready to go into on it. Hold on here. I mean, especially with fashion, how does this social media take a play in fashion? You think? I mean, I know it's
Absolutely.
yeah. Go ahead. I mean, we own it right
So
now.
I think social media is such a big part of our lives now for sure.
Yep.
Um, but I feel like with fashion or just having a brand in general, um, social media can be used as a tool to like really get the exposure that maybe you wouldn't get if you weren't on social media or if you weren't like promoting it,
Mhm.
or if you just had a website. But I think social media has genuinely helped my brand a lot. I know that
Right.
I've been
Mhm.
able to connect with people really from like high school and like just from obviously from college, but just every part of my life, I've had people. I've always been able to stay connected with them through social media, and they just
Mhm.
kind of watch my brand grow. And I've heard so many people even today say like, I've just been watching your brand, on Instagram or on Facebook and YouTube, and just watching it grow. And I'm just like, oh wow, it's just definitely a good way for people to still keep in touch and just stay up to date with what you're doing. So it's
Yeah.
definitely helpful.
And speaking about that, first and foremost, let me say this: keep sending them emails and all social media stuff you're sending to me, because of the people I know in this industry of entertainment or whatever. I'm sending it to them. And what they said, I got to tell you what happened the other morning. I was on Mook in the Morning podcast, and I was telling them that you was going to be on my podcast and what you done for us with fashion and everything. I'm gonna tell you what they said, and even Mook said it because Mook is part of the Wu Tang Clan, which that's a rap group before your time. But anyway, so your
Dang.
parents, your parents know about Wu Tang Clan, but you may not. But anyway, long story short, they said, hey man, whatever you do, you tell your niece she's more than welcome to ever come on our podcast if she want to say something on our podcast. I said, okay, I will mention it because I always talk about Mook in the Morning. That's the first thing I talk about when I get on here because I'm always part of the podcast at least once, twice a week. And so I told him, I said, I'm definitely going to talk about that on my podcast. So I just wanted to let you know. And that's back to social media intertwining together. You get what I'm saying? Where people can, you know, feel the social media part of it, and they look at social media and social media entwining with people to where they're like, oh, okay, I heard about Unity Collection with Nicole Scott Incorporated. Okay, let me check this out. And that's the beautiful thing with social media. And I love social media for that. And we also know social media got its dark side, but I don't like to even talk about that. I like to talk about its light skin side. So so with that
Yeah.
said, I mean, it's social media is just great, and And I just feel like we have to, if you got here in today's time and with the way the world's going, direction the world's going, and I was talking about this on Mook in the morning on Friday yesterday, as a matter of fact, with AI and robotics, things are going in that direction. And if you don't get with the program, it's going to go past you. You know, you have to have some type of internet savvy. You know, I know some people ain't too internet savvy, especially people from my area when I was brought up. But you have to understand, you have to get involved in that. I remember what my father told me a long time ago, and he was telling me that whatever you do, get into some type of computer program. I learned how to repair them. He said, because 40, 50 years from now, the world's it's going to be non-existent. It's going to be more computer and AI or whatever, and you're going to have to learn how to do computers or know how to repair the computers. So, what they said. So, but it's big. Social media is very big, and I definitely utilize it to utmost in a positive way. And I know you do too, and continue to do that because it definitely help you in what you're trying to do with the Unity collection and everything. So, when? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. When did you start it? When did you start your Fashion Unity collection? What year did you start it recently, or when did you start it out? Your Unity collection.
So I launched my business in 2021,
Okay.
and then last year in actually August 2022 was when I launched my first like official clothing line, which was Unity 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. See, that's great. Because see, you know, the beautiful thing about that, and like I was talking to a friend of mine about human being growth. And there's also a thing of growth with whatever your career is. And it's going to be, you're going to watch it grow, which is going to be the beautiful part of it, watching it grow and helping it grow, you know. So growth is always a beautiful thing, whether it's human being wise or what you're doing in your career. I know I've watched the growth of my stand-up, and I just love doing stand-up. I love the art of stand-up. I ain't got to be next Kevin Hart, but I can be me, the big air light skin comedian. And I've learned a lot. So that's, you know, it's just what it is. So it's about growth too.
Right.
That's real important. So now I'm gonna ask you this, because some people, I'm putting the economy up, because right now we're in a, you know, they don't want to talk about, but we're in a small recession. But I know with your fashion,
Right.
talk about how affordable your fashion is. You know, because a lot of times some people are like, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. That's not in my free budget. So, you know,
Right.
so yeah. So I mean, it's very affordable what you're doing, right?
Yes, yeah. I would say the economy is very crazy right now.
It is.
Like literally, I just filled my car up yesterday and
Okay.
paid $3.78 for gas. But
Oh wow.
I know I was so upset. But yeah, with the brand, I just want to make sure that my clothing is accessible, like to like my age group and just anyone who like wants sustainable clothes. But not that, but necessarily can't afford it, because sustainable clothing and locally handmade clothing is just very expensive. It's a very expensive market, and a lot of designers do charge a lot for their pieces. But I just want to make sure that my clothing is accessible, it's attainable and inclusive for those who want like eco-friendly clothes but don't necessarily have the budget for that. And I know that that's something that I wanted, just as a, not only as a designer but as a consumer. I wanted a brand that was ethical but also like something that I could afford and not feel like, oh, I'm spending all my dollars.
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely try to integrate that as much as possible with this model and just how I can make it more attainable for people.
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of times too, because some of the guests I've had on here, I've had some local guests that are doing big things. And I tell people, you got to support local, if nothing else. There's nothing about supporting national, but you got to support local too, because there's a lot of good local things going on here with people's careers. And I love supporting them, because I don't want to wait till they blow up and be like, yeah, I know them, I'll be supporting them. No, and you be lying. That's why I tell people, you got to support local first and foremost. And I love supporting local. And that's great, for what you're doing, because I tell people all the time, you have to support local first and foremost. With these comedy shows I put on here, a lot of people support me being local. And I have a lot of local comedians because I like to support them and what they're trying to do with their career, So I wanted to ask you this too. Do you sell hats? You think you got a big old head for this big old head of hat? Y'all sell hats?
I do have hats. Yes. I make beanies, and I do bucket hats as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, okay, well, good. Because I love hats, and I don't mind paying, certain prices for hats, especially if I can afford it. So, but yeah, I mean, and it's important, like I said, the reason why I said about this economy, because I know some people, like I said, feel like, if they see, especially see some on my page, they're like, well, I don't know if I can afford it and go to that. I tell them all the time, whatever I put on my page, I try to be real reasonable about it. Like, look, you can go, you can afford it. If nothing else, at least go check it out. And if you can't buy nothing, maybe you will be able to the next time. But go check it out, because you might see something you really like and then be able to afford it. So I tell people that all the time. So, and I just truly believe in, and it's all about how you spend your money too. You have to, you definitely better spend wisely with the way the economy is right now. Because if not, that's going to be a problem for you as an individual, So, what else did I want? Well, I guess you could talk a little bit about. Well, you already did talk about it, but I was going to put a Unity collection up here. What made you come up with that name, which I think is outstanding? I love the name. I love that name. So what made you come up with that Unity collection? I like that name.
Thank you so much. So I came up with it actually during the pandemic in
Okay.
2020. Really, the summer of 2020 was really when I decided that I wanted to take my business seriously and actually
Okay.
like really launch a real brand.
Hmm.
And during that time, I needed a collection. I needed something to kind of put out there that was going to represent what the brand meant. And so I came up with this concept for, I originally had called it the Unity Movement,
Okay.
because I wanted it to be like kind of a peaceful movement that really promoted like peace, love, kindness, happiness, mainly because that was like the complete opposite of what was
Hmm.
going on in the world at the time.
Right.
In that summer of 2020, it was just such a like stressful time. It was a very violent time,
Yeah.
really tough for the Black community, and
Yeah.
all the injustice that we endured, and of course the pandemic and COVID-19
Yeah.
was just like a hot mess.
Yeah.
And just having to be quarantined and stuck in the house, it was really hard for me personally, just because I like am a very social person. I love to go outside. I love to hang out with my friends and
Yeah.
do stuff, and to not be able to do that anymore, it was really tough. So I wanted this collection to represent something that was positive and fun and just like super like uniting. Like I wanted people to come together versus like separating. Everybody
Mhm.
was just so like opinionated at that time. Is mask or no mask, protest or
Mhm.
don't protest.
Yeah.
So I really just wanted to make something that was meaningful and was like, okay, let's just put all of that aside for now and let's just come together and be united. So that's really where the idea came from.
I
And
love
ever since then it's been like the theme, the main core value, like the main thing that my brand just kind of stands on and really
it. Right.
follows. But
Oh, I love it. I love it. Speaking of the pandemic, which I was going to put that up here, but I'm not even going to put it up because we're going to talk about it now. The pandemic, as bad as it was for us, not being able to socialize and being stuck in, it gave birth to a lot of things. I know one thing is it gave birth to this podcast because I
yeah,
couldn't get to the stage, I couldn't do nothing, and it gave birth to what you're doing. It gave
right.
birth to that, So because I was frustrated, and my wife, she was like, "Well, look, since you can't get on stage, start a podcast." And boom, I started in 2020 and I'm on episode 36. I do it once a month, every second Saturday. So even in the midst of something like the pandemic, it still gave birth to something, which is truly a blessing. And there's always a blessing somewhere in there. So, but
Mm,
it still gave birth to things, and it really, to me personally, it make me do a little more harder thinking with this big old head and try to figure out something, more collective thinking and more getting used to doing things and reading more books at home, everything, to get stronger mentally. So I got something out of the pandemic. I didn't just let it take me down. I got something out of the pandemic, and that's what you did too. And I commend you on that. Truly, you definitely did a great thing with this. So I truly commend you on that. Uh, Here's what I'm gonna put you on the spot on there. So, but this ain't that bad of a spot. It's gonna seem like it, but it's not. It's just I always ask. Well, let me ask you this first, and then I'm gonna get into this one other one, and we'll be through. Uh, I was let me get rid of this Unity collection. I'm over here messing up. Hold on, I'm over here messing up. Y'all know I'm light skinned internet, so y'all hold on. Let me see first. Let me see Unity collection. Let me get rid of this Unity collection first. I gotta take that off. Okay, hide that. Now, just for the people, you got any favorite color, music, or actor? You know what I'm saying? Just for the people. So I don't know if you do or not, but
Well, I do have a favorite color. My
okay.
favorite color is blue. I do like a lot of different colors. Like I love blue, green,
Okay.
brown. But blue is definitely my favorite color right now.
Yeah, okay.
Um, as far as music, hmm, I don't really have a favorite song, but I
Right.
do have a couple like
Certain
artists.
artists, yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple artists that I like. I've been listening to a lot of Burna Boy lately.
Okay.
Chris Brown is one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
I listen to like a lot of Drake,
I like
some Summer
Drake.
Walker.
Yeah. Yeah. Summer Walker. Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
my favorites, SZA. I love SZA for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm kind of, what about actor? You don't have no certain actor because I know you watch.
Actor, I do love movies. I guess I could say Zendaya. She's an actress.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
love Zendaya. She's really
Yeah.
good. I think who else maybe.
Yeah, because this with that question, I tell people all the time. My favorite color, well, being a U of L fan and a Steeler fan, is really
Hmm.
red and black. The Steelers are black and gold, and U of L's red. So take it
Yeah,
for what it's worth. Music, I'm all over the place, all genres, because
yeah.
me being old school and new school, I like all type. I mean,
Mhm.
I can name some people now. Some you may know, some you may not, and your mother and father do know some of these older artists, but you don't know some. Well, like
I'm
OJ's,
sure.
Barry White, and all them. I can listen. It just depends on what my mood is, what I'm gonna listen to on Spotify. And speaking of Spotify, the BHLC podcast is on Spotify, so y'all make sure you're streaming on there. So y'all check it out. Matter of fact, this is gonna be on Spotify. What we're doing today, and actors. Oh man, there's so many great actors out there. It really is. But I got several good actors that I really like. But that's a whole other story there though. But it is. It's just a lot of good actors. It really is. I like Jamie Foxx. I mean, just so many
She's
good
great.
actors out there. It
She's
really
great.
is. You know?
One I forgot. I was gonna say Taraji P Henson.
Oh yeah,
I
she's. Oh my God. Yes.
Everything she does, I mean, she kills it. So she's definitely one of my
And
faves.
I've been liking some of these new and upcoming actors. I don't want to say the upcoming because I don't know about you, but I watched a series called The Shy. I've been watching since season one, and I
I've heard
love
of
The Shy. I'm telling people out there, y'all need to watch The Shy because I love The Shy because it's truly a great series. I love watching, so it really is. And I love watching The Shy, so that's definitely one I love watching. What was I getting ready to talk about here? Something I wanted to add. Yeah, here. Well, I was kind of. Oh, let me get rid of this again. I done messed up again here. Here we go.
it.
Here's one of my other ones. Here today, gone tomorrow. I tell people all the time, love, life, and money. And it's kind of what you were just talking about when we was talking about your birth, your Unity collection, and everything. I love my family. I give my family much love. I love my life because of how God has blessed my life and with the people around my family, you and all my family. And money, I love money, but I don't let money make me because it's in the Bible. I may not give you what you want, but I'm gonna give you
Right.
what you need. So you can kind of elaborate on that too. So yeah, that's just me with the love, life, and money.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, that's great. Definitely for love. I do love my family. I think that's an easy one. Family and friends and the people who are just in my life right now. I really do value them so much.
Right.
In life, I feel like I'm at an age where I'm learning and I'm growing each and every day.
Right.
Being in your early 20s is such a like growing process. But life is good right now. I'm definitely blessed. So each and
Yeah.
every day that I wake up is a blessing. So
Yeah.
very thankful for that. And then money, I wish I had more of it. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
You will. You will. Just keep. You will. Yeah, you will. You will. Just money's the thing. I was talking to a friend of mine today about money, and I told him another thing my father told me. He said, "As long as you always keeping busy, doing something positive, it could be an honest hustle. As long as it's an honest hustle and positive, you'll have something in your life. You'll have just enough to have food, shelter, transportation. So, I love, and we all love money. So, but so be it. Yeah. Uh, I just know, like I said, it's just one more thing here. I think I already talked about that. What's that? Yep. One more thing here, and this was really gonna put you on the spot because people, and then I've been asked this as being a comedian. People has asked me, hold on, let me get rid of this first because I messed up last time. Okay, but I've been asked this a lot, and I have to tell them on my podcast or even on stage. I make jokes of it, but Here's one something people don't know about you. And I go first before you even go into yours. I always tell people things some people don't know about me. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. Stay to self, stay to family. I'm an introvert. And it's not because of 2020 COVID pandemic. I'm an introvert. And I still socialize, but I'm more of an introvert. And I have no problem being that, because I'm always working on self to be a better person. So, and to be part of my growth as a person. So, but you can elaborate on that. I know I put you on the spot with that one too.
Yeah, this is a tough one. People always like, how this question just comes up sometimes, but I never know what to say when people ask this. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of an open book, but like I am on the shyer side. But
Okay.
like if someone asks, I would tell them, whatever
Right.
they want.
Yeah.
But I guess just like a fun fact, I'm an Aries, so my birthday is April 2nd.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I love my sign. I think I'm definitely an Aries. Probably not a full by the book Aries, but I do, love my sign, the best
Right.
sign. But yeah.
That was great. Well, I'm tell you, this has been great. Um, I'm just ecstatic because you being part of this podcast has made me happy, and I love having a family member on here that's doing something very positive for themselves as well as for the community and the city of Louisville overall. And I'm hoping that people will tune into this and make sure they, excuse me, it's water here. I'll make sure people tune into this and make sure they support you in what you're doing in your peace and harmony with the Unity Collection. But also, too, before I get out of here and before we get out of here, I want you to explain to people on how to get in contact with you, your gyro, whether it's on Facebook or the website with Unity Collection, and you can explain your pop-up things too again if you want to. But just explain all that to them and how they can get in contact with you because that's really important for these my subscribers to know how to get in contact with you if somebody want to get some type of clothing wear.
Absolutely, yes. So you guys can head to my website. It's NicoleScottInc.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have Threads, YouTube. We're on all the social medias, which are all on the website. Also, you can join our email list if you want to stay up to date on future pop-up events, fashion events, launch parties, the Mix collection, new products, all of that. Definitely subscribe to our email list. And also in sometime in a couple weeks, we'll actually be launching our very first crowdfunding campaign. So definitely subscribe to the emails if you want to support a local Black-owned business, Black woman-owned business.
Oh wow, that's great.
Definitely subscribe to the email so you guys can get updates and alerts on when we launch. And it'll be a really good launch. Every dollar that you contribute will actually be matched by Metro United Way and Fund Black Founders. So if I make up to $25,000, they will match that 25,000, and I'll have $50,000 for my business. So please tap in. Definitely
Wow,
drop
oh wow, that is so great, and I'm glad that you giving back, staying humble, giving back. You truly be blessed for that. So just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I want you to be part of Mook in the morning. I'll talk to you off screen about that one.
Yeah,
I know doing this, what I'm saying, doing this, having an outgoing spirit and everything, you embrace a lot of people and you helping people. And that's a good thing. It's always a good thing, whenever you can help somebody. That's like my podcast. I always tell people it's for the people, about the people, and the people. Because it's all about LSI, learn, share, and inspire. And that's what it's about more than anything, it's giving a little bit of yourself to the people if you can, because I always tell people time is important. I know people say time is money. No, it's not only money, it's just important. It's very
absolutely.
important because you're giving self, Sometimes it ain't about money. If you're just giving time to somebody, whether you talk to them and giving them a little knowledge, So, and you don't realize right now, you just gave me some knowledge on fashion. So, and I love that because now, I got a little bit of knowledge on fashion. So, with that said, but I know it's just been truly a blessing having you on this podcast. And as you continue to grow with the Unity Collection and with your fashion, I look for you to be back on my podcast and bigger, even better, doing big things. I might see you up in New York, which is one of the top fashion places in the world. You've been to New York too before, ain't you?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Last summer I did an internship in New York. Mhm.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, so yeah, I mean that's great, which is one of the capitals with fashion. So, and they wear all type of clothes up in New York. Oh my God! So, and
Yes.
yeah, truly, yeah, they wear all type of clothes. With that
Mhm.
said, too, I want to say this. Make sure y'all subscribe to my podcast, BHLC podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. Also, I'm on Spotify. Check me out on Spotify. What's it? Google. Well, I know it's Radio Public, Google Pocket, whatever. I'm on a lot of other different streams too. But I'm here every second Saturday. Next one, September the 9th. Um, make sure I'll be here again September 9th, but make sure you come to my Louder and Laughter. That's why I got that there, which is reason why I call it Louder and Laughter because right around the time I have this show, they have Louder and Life concert. So I started my Louder and Laughter 3 years ago, and it has grown so big. It's be 100 some people that support it. But make sure y'all get the advance tickets for that. And more than anything, just continue to enjoy life and live life. Because a lot of times I heard we take life for granted. It ain't always about having money. Sometimes it's always about having a piece of land and enjoying the life you're in the moment. You have to do that. Back to learn, share, and inspire. Um, be yourself and enjoy life. You got anything else you want to add, Nicole, before I get out of here, family? And I love you. I love you. I love having you on here. So you can go ahead and if you got anything else you want to put out there.
Yeah, I love you too. And I thank you for, allowing me to come on here and talk about my business. So I had fun. It was a great time, great experience. So yeah.
I love you, niece, and I love you. And I'm just glad to have you on here, and we both been blessed through God, and God knew I had to have you on here. So, but continue to be yourself, continue to grow within yourself, and watch things mature around you, and it's a beautiful thing. Um, this is the BLGC podcast. Like I said, September 9th, I'll be back here. Subscribe. I'm on Spotify. Support Unity Collection. And if you don't know how to get in contact with Unity Collection, hit me up. That's what's up. Hit me up, and I'll make sure you get to Unity Collection. Okay. I'm the one and only big head licensed comedian, BHLC podcast. Y'all enjoy the rest of the evening. I'm here at 21st Germantown. Y'all come down and see these bands for free. I said free. I mean like when you get your air free, you're breathing. That type of free. So come down here, support them what they doing because they one of my sponsors here. And if nothing else, uh, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your life. The one and only Big Air Light Skin Podcast. Thank you so much, niece. I love you. You continue to keep doing what you're doing. Love you.
Love you too. Bye. Thank you so
Enjoy the
much.
rest of your evening. Thank you.
Yeah. She does. Videos right here.